Rob, The Sadness. We are so thrilled to have it as the closing night film at Fright Fest this year. The moment we saw it, we absolutely adored it because it is so violent, it is so extreme. And to be honest with you, I was really worried that we weren't going to get it through the local censor's office, because you know we have to run every film through the local city council to do it. So I was worried that these three old ladies who usually do it are actually going to be sitting there going, oh my God. But they said it was fine, so I was really pleased.
Yeah, that's good.
No, so listen, I know you weren't going to direct it originally, you actually just wrote it. So take me through the whole genesis of the film.
I'd been working sort of as a staff writer for this company owned by Jeffrey Huang, and the main financer of the film. And he had me working on, we were trying to develop this like science fiction script for like a year. He's like a wealthy eccentric, so he just sort of likes to just have sort of things going, like we're, oh, let's work on this script. We have another guy over here writing some stuff over here, and like maybe something will just kind of blossom somewhere. And then, so that kind of went nowhere for a while, but it was cool to just be working at home and getting paid a salary. And then the pandemic hits, and Taiwan handled it very like aggressively and very effectively, like right off the bat. Probably because they had the experience with SARS earlier, and there are a bunch of other things, like sort of coincidental factors that I think helped, but I won't get into that. Point is that there was really like no pandemic in Taiwan for like 14 months. Like it was something happening elsewhere in the world, and then Jeff was just like, okay, we need to make a movie right now, and then in January there'll be no movies in the theater, and we'll have no competition. So I said, okay, do you want to do the science fiction thing? He's like, no, it's got to be a pandemic thing. I'm like, really? Do people want to be hearing about that? Like, you think that people want to get their mind off it? It's like, no, like, if you look at the numbers, like, Contagion is #1 on Netflix, Outbreak, and all these old pandemic movies. That's what people want to be seeing. So I said, okay, so zombie, how about a zombie thing? Okay, well, I don't want to do that. It sounds boring and, well-trodden ground, So then I thought, okay, well, why don't we make it more like make it really crazy, and it's like, oh, how do we do that? It's like, oh, well, how about if we make it so that they enjoy it? So I started looking into some. I remember I'd read a comic book like in the late aughts. You say that in Britain, right? Aughts.
Not really,
Okay.
but I mean, but it works. The zeros, whatever.
So in the late aughts, I read this comic book called Crossed by Garth Ennis and Jason Burrows. Yeah, and this guy's giving me a thumbs up off camera. And I was like, this is great, because what this does is it adds an element of like malice and sadism to the zombie structure, the narrative structure, I guess. And I was like, oh, but I bet this is too hardcore though to make a film. Hey, the thing's been out for like more than 10 years, like 12 years or 13 years, and they haven't been able to make a movie. The reason why is just because it's too hardcore. It's too sexually violent, too like mean-spirited, too much like just really fucked up stuff. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to tone this down a little bit, but also I'm like, maybe it's also good to kind of like try to, because there's things I don't like about it. I don't like how the bad guys in that comic book are like, they're almost like primitive man, like they're just kind of grunting and kind of just like I want to like fuck, like they're just there's no intelligence, right? But so then I thought, okay, well, what if we make them more chatty and make them more expressive and like actually talking with people and communicating like with each other and planning, and we see them talking to each other and they're taunting you a lot and they're articulate, Is that scarier? I think it is. Like, I think that's actually scarier because they know what they're doing and they're enjoying it, and that's actually the scariest thing, That's why it sucks to get beat up, because because it's embarrassing, because someone's getting one over on you. So it adds this element of like I don't know how to say that, kind of like danger that's very relatable and kind of like close to you, or I don't know how to say it properly, but anyways. So once I kind of figured out, okay, this is maybe the way to do this. And then also another thing you can do, which I realized, is that if you have these people expressive, you can actually create villains, memorable villains in this kind of zombie movie, which has never really. There have been like whatever Bub in Day of the Dead and little things. Is that really a main character? Not really. Like he's not enough of a character. He's more like the equivalent of like a dog or a pet or something. But like you can have like memorable villains in a zombie movie. So that was once I kind of realized that, and then I also sort of realized, oh, okay, what we'll do also is we'll make Taiwan kind of more like America a little bit. Like in truth, Taiwan is very like obedient. Like they listen to the government, they trust the current government they're really happy with right now. But I had to kind of change that because we needed something that was a little more like there's disinformation everywhere and people don't know what to think and the pandemic's getting out of control, but there's not serious symptoms, so no one's taking it seriously. And then one day it just happens, and then we have this. Then all of a sudden it's just like you can, once you have all those things together, you're just writing and it just gets done in like 2 weeks, and then it's like, okay, does this look good to you? Yeah, sure. Was translated into Chinese and also into Taiwanese, local Taiwanese. Start casting. I mean, whatever, 6 weeks, 2 months, then we're ready to shoot, and then we shot the film, and then.
But you weren't ever going to direct originally.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So to your point, I didn't want to because I was afraid to, because I was like, I don't want this thing getting taken away from me in the 11th hour, and like some jerk off's gonna edit it to make it more suitable to, like, let's say the Taiwanese audience, like if that's the market. So I had to get that caveat included in the agreement. I need final cut, and I can't have people in my ear about it. I need to be able to do it the way I want it to do. So once I had all that established, I mean, this is like a dream situation, right? Like a very unusual for a first-time director. But I was just like, whatever. I'm no spring chicken. I got to do this.
But you've got
properly.
a VFX background, though, haven't you? And all that sort of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So you went in, pretty much sort of like sorted out, I think.
I mean, yeah. I guess I'm just kind of generally unambitious. Like I've always felt like I could do a film, but I was just like, I don't really care. I make money, it's fine. But then I got offered the opportunity, and I was just like, I think I know how to do this. And then, but I was, the thing that kept me from doing it in the beginning was just the fear of having it. I'm very, what's the word? Like sensitive, like emotionally fragile. It would have hurt me a lot to have my work taken from me like that.
But sure, there's somebody out there that you'd have liked to have directed. I mean, who would have been your dream director apart from yourself to have done it?
Okay, well, Alan, between you and me and all the viewers out there, I wanted to direct it myself. but at the same time, like I wrote it so quickly, and it was just kind of like, I don't care that much about this. Like just because if you read the script, it's not that good, to be honest. It's about the sensation of it all.
Set pieces,
right?
And things, yeah.
So I was like, I kind of knew like I can give this off to somebody and he'll screw it up. They'll read the script and they'll mistake some of the dialogue for jokes, and they'll try to do a comedy with it. Like they'll just completely misread the foundation of it. So I was kind of handing it off with like a chuckle, kind of like, oh, this will be funny. But then when it came back to me, I was like, okay, how often do you get this kind of opportunity to have like carte blanche on a film that you wrote? I can be a writer-director, and I mean the budget wasn't huge, but hey, it wasn't pock and change either, So we were able to like do something kind of good.
And is it true that, I mean, you told that it had to have 15 gallons of blood on set at all times?
Sometimes, listen,
you never wanted to run out.
Yeah, so sometimes you say things in interviews because people will like them, But the thing is I did say that to them, but I didn't say 15 gallons. Like, I didn't give a number. I was just like, we can't run out of blood, okay? And then they were like, okay. And I was like, I'm serious. I don't want to have a situation ever where it's just like, oh, we can't do this. Like you special effects guys, I'm counting on you. You guys always have to be able to say yes to me, okay? And then they understood, and they're still very. I should say again, Victor and Esther are at IF SFX Artmaker, are family. They'll be if we need their services, if we need services like that, they'll always be on my team because they really did a great job and came through in the end.
I mean. It is really extreme in places. I mean, I know it's the baby scene, isn't it? That I think most people. No, I know, don't get, but that's the thing I think that people go, ooh.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's the old, in the old.
Right.
Oops, I think that's the scene that everyone kind of points out. But this is great because look at that. Everyone has their own little thing. Other people don't like the basketball court scene, or rather, talk about the basketball court scene. Not necessarily don't like it. They just find that to be the most shocking or whatever. Yeah.
Now, and are the lead two, the boy and girl, are they famous in Taiwan? Are they anybody special? Should we know who they are?
Well, they're special to me.
Yes, but you know, where did you find them? And have they got a TV profile? Are they well known?
So the male lead, Barrett Zhu, is he was in a movie called We Are the Champions. It was like a basketball movie, like I don't know, like a Cinderella story kind of thing, underdog. And my financer Jeff really liked him. He thought he had a good face. He was just like that's the guy. We need that guy. So then when we cast him, he's like 21 years old. So then I was like, I really wanted this girl who was like 30 to play the female lead, but it was like I don't want her to be that much older, not because it's unheard of that a couple like that would exist, but just because it's like that adds another element to the story. It's like, why is that like what's like, you have to kind of get into that a little bit. You can't just put it there. But anyway, so I had to cast her, I had to get rid of her, and I had to cast someone who was younger. And then Regina came in, and she was prior to the Sadness, I think she had been in a short, like I think they made like a anthology film, and she had a role in that or something, but she was pretty inexperienced and mostly doing commercials and stuff. But I just liked her scared and sad face. Like I was just, because I felt moved by it. Like after I just felt like people would want to like reach this screen and kind of rescue her, you know, because she just it's very like, she just looks so vulnerable, and I thought it was great. Like just a really, that's what you want. You want your people to be afraid for your characters.
Because you don't really understand the title until the ending, really, do you? I mean,
I don't know. It's a sad situation, I suppose. You know, if your city, if your nation is just falling apart. I mean, it's vague, but you're right. The ending, the explosion of melancholy, is really what the film is named after. That's pretty much. I mean, that's great that you maybe you read that somewhere.
No, I didn't.
Okay, well then that's great.
I am a critic in my own right. Thank you very much.
You gleaned it yourself.
I did indeed.
Nice.
But listen, so what was the experience of actually directing something that you know? Yes, you wrote it, but was it what you wanted it to be?
Yeah.
You know, everything about it was good.
I'm about like 90%. It's 90% kind of what I wanted it to be. The experience was exhausting, I would say, is the best thing. But also, it's like you're so happy. Like especially.
How long did it take, by the way? How long was it?
The shoot?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, the shoot was like 28 days.
Oh, 28 days later. There you go.
Yep. We did it that way on purpose.
Oh, good. So I mean, you know, so that was really fast then, because.
I mean, I've heard people say like, oh, that's a long time, or people say it's a short time. I don't know. I have no experience. That's just how long it took, and it seemed short.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was definitely exhausting. But at the same time, like I said, it's just every day you're really excited, but also you're nervous because one of the sort of things you don't think about when you have just the ability to do whatever you want and you have all this freedom, there's a lot of pressure because it's like I don't have any excuse. I don't have any excuse like, oh, this motherfucker told me that we have to use this actor or this product placement or whatever. Like everything's all completely up to me. So if it's bad, it's all because of me. So when somebody on set is dragging their feet, like you get completely outraged. Like what, you know. Why are we here? You know, why do you have a job right now? Like, we got to do this. Come on, guys. Like, I found myself kind of like going mental sometimes, but I really tried to. Right. I mean, you just got to keep your eye on the ball, like on the goal, right? And that's kind of what it was. I ended up like when we finished the shoot, I just like got on my motorcycle and I started driving. And my head was just like going completely insane. And I crashed into a taxi and I was on the road. I was like, oh, what's going on? And then I got, dealt with the police, went home, and then just like slept for 24 hours. And then I had to edit the film and I couldn't concentrate. And I was talking with the colorist, this guy named Paul Hanrahan, and he's like, what's wrong with you, Rob? He's a South African guy. Is that a South African accent?
No, that wasn't at all, but it doesn't matter.
So he was like, hey, Rob, but what's wrong with you? You know? But anyway, he was just like, you seem you don't seem correct, you know, like you need to go home and sleep. And I was like, yeah, I think maybe you're right. So I ended up like spending 2 weeks just kind of like sleeping a lot. It was really draining. Like it sounds dramatic, like what I'm saying right now. Like, oh, poor you get to direct a movie. But the thing is like it really was like draining.
Yes,
like,
yeah. Note to self: never work for this man.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, you know, you talk to my cinematographer, you talk to the cast. I think you'll find that
they loved you.
I think they enjoyed the experience a lot, and I think that I'll probably work with like a lot of them again.
Why are you based in Taiwan then?
I happen to be there already.
What do you mean you happen to be there already?
I've lived there for like 13 years.
Oh, okay. Why do you live there though?
I don't know, you know, just
Because you're Canadian, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But you were in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just decided to go.
When I was like 25, you know, you make decisions. You're just like, you know, I can go there and I can just see the world or whatever. You know, like I'm very, you know, this is the second time I've been in Europe actually. Like the first time was like 2 or 3 weeks ago at Locarno, right?
You did Locarno.
Yeah.
Actually, that was a surprise when they picked the movie to show Locarno. I was surprised at that.
You're telling me. Yeah, you're telling me. That kind of made me kind of feel like, okay, you know, we got ourselves a winner here, because it's not just like, you know,
the horror fest.
Yeah, like oh, intestine fest or whatever, you know. It's like, oh, we get to look. I don't know, you know. So we went over there and the reception was great. We got to meet like his name is escaping me now. Nazaro. His first name is I forgot. Mr. Nazaro. Anyways, and he really loved the film. And
what did he direct?
Oh no, he's the director of the festival.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
He's the director of the festival, and he's also part of like this, you know, like these Italian critics associations and stuff. Like he's a real.
Did they do it open air? Because Locarno often do open air screenings.
That's sort of the Piazza Grande. They do the.
But most people complain that they get bitten by mosquitoes.
Terrible. Swiss mosquitoes are the worst. They're the worst.
Oh well.
They're very indiscriminate, you know, because they're neutral. But yeah, thanks. Anyways, I just came up with that just now.
Very good.
See, this is why I get paid why I get paid the big bucks. Anyways, I was going to say that we didn't actually screen open air, but they did have like the sort of iconic Locarno Piazza Grande, right? And but we screened at a theater that I felt was like very nice and like great sound, like, you know, nice crowd, enthusiastic, you know, and
well, you're getting great reviews for this. I mean, everyone loves it. So I mean, you know, has all this gone to your head?
Yeah.
Your very first film.
100%. 100%.
Are you going to be a nightmare from now on?
Yeah. I'm gonna be just like, oh my god, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I'm gonna start like, you know, being like visibly, like very visibly eccentric, you know, like maybe walking around with a peacock on a leash or something, you know, just do something like that. I don't really know. No, it hasn't gone to my head. I still feel like a complete idiot. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
What's going to happen? I mean, okay, this has been a success. You're going to do it again. If they already said to you, we'll let you direct another movie.
Okay, so if I make the money back, like I'm just trying, like the reason I'm doing all these things, like I don't have to be here. Like the reason I'm doing all these festivals and stuff is just because I'm trying to do stuff like this and trying to do interviews and trying to get people talking and trying to get little YouTube clips and stuff just to generate interest in the movie. Because if I can make the money back on the movie, which we didn't do in Taiwan with the local audience, it didn't like go over very well in Taiwan.
Why not? Why do you think?
Because I think it's just a conservative audience. I also think there was a problem with marketing. I think that the marketing team didn't understand the film, and they kind of tried to market it more like just the standard Taiwan horror fare, which is pretty lukewarm.
Right.
So like people were walking into the movie expecting like, oh, this is going to be the Taiwanese Train to Busan, and then they're like, oh my god, you know, like they're taking grandma, like, you know, and it's just like it's an extreme horror film, right? It's like, I mean, that's what people tell me, and I guess it is. To me, it just feels like a horror film. I guess it's different because like I know when I watch the movie, I just think of, oh, and remember how on that day, that's so funny. Like after we did that, we were laughing, but then it's I guess I can't get over that. I'm not able to really see the film like other people see the film. So to me, it just didn't seem that bad, but I guess it is bad. I don't know. I really don't think it's that bad. I think it's fine. Especially since the way that I was really sensitive to the sexual violence aspects of the film.
Yes, that's the bit that I think is going to get most people.
Yeah, but I really tried to like rein that in and tried to make it so it's like.
I think you should have gone wilder with that.
No.
You could have really gone much wilder.
Of course I could have, but I didn't want to because I wanted it to be something that kept the audience on my side.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Well, listen, got to call it a halt now, but listen, thanks a lot. I know it's going to play through the roof tonight. I'm dying to see what happens at the end of the film. And
I think this is going to be a really good screen.
Yeah, really.
I walked by to get some of those programs because there's my pictures in it, and I saw just like the character of people there, and it's like they're going to like it.
no, they're going to like it a lot.
Yeah.
So listen, Rob, so pleased you're here. Even though we're way down the list of importance, but it doesn't matter. That's okay.
What do you mean we're way down the
Well, you were
list?
saying you're going out to do all this because you feel you have to.
Hey,
sort of get
this
it
is the
thrown.
biggest horror festival in the United Kingdom, in the Queen's Island. Okay, so don't you sell yourself short, all right? 25, what is it?
22 years, actually.
22 years of Fright Fest. It's an institution.
You're Canadian, you're in the Commonwealth, you should know all this.
We got the Queen on the money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you.